there was some news that came out yesterday, and news is probably even the wrong word to use. There was something that came to light yesterday that the new head coach at Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, doesn't curse. He's a head football coach in the SEC, so you have to believe he's probably in the minority there. But this kind of made a little bit of a ripple effect of sorts. Not a massive one, but a ripple effect nonetheless in February in college football. So we'll talk about that right now. Hey, quickly though, make sure you're locked in here. Make sure you're subscribed. Alabama fans, Georgia fans, Michigan fans, Charleston Southern fans, whatever team you're a fan of, we respect, love, celebrate college football every single day of the year, not just when they're playing games. So if you're watching this as a one-off clip, there's a live show we do 3 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Get locked in with us. Thank you so much. All right, like I was saying, Kalen DeBoer doesn't curse, kind of made news. Andy Staples and Paul Feinbaum actually chopped it up about this yesterday, and it was a fun conversation to listen to. And this is a great segue, I think, into how we can assess Kalen DeBoer and how we should assess Kalen DeBoer with his new era beginning in Tuscaloosa. Because I think the difference is really showing here between the Washington Huskies job and the Alabama Crimson Tide job. When you're a head coach in the SEC, much less at a place like Alabama with that script A, every single move, every single thing you say is going to be talked about, analyzed, scrutinized. Doesn't really help your case either that you're following the greatest head football coach of all time in Nick Saban. So bottom line, everything you do, there will be an opinion on it. And there was a lot of opinions on Kalen DeBoer. And I just want to make sure we say this too, for the Alabama fan base, like they know one speed. They've known one speed for the last 17 years. That is excellence. That is pedal to the metal. That is pushing the envelope. That is the standard. That is Nick Saban. All right. So it might take a second here for not just the Bama fan base, but the college football public as a whole to sort of acclimate to a Kalen DeBoer Alabama. Now, I would also make sure we mention that anything that Kalen DeBoer does that is different than Nick Saban is going to probably create a little bit of a reaction, because the thought will be, well, Nick Saban did it this way. He's the greatest of all time. Kalen DeBoer does it what way? That's not what Saban did. Are we sure he's the right guy? Are we sure he's the guy for the job? I would just caution you of that, because I think the quicker we can get on board with Kalen DeBoer's Alabama as opposed to Nick Saban's Alabama, the happier you're going to be. You brought in Kalen DeBoer to be Kalen DeBoer. You didn't bring Kalen DeBoer in to do a Nick Saban impersonation. You came here to get similar results. You brought him there to win national championships, but Kalen DeBoer is successful because he's done things his way. I'll say it again, 104-12. Whatever Kalen DeBoer has done, it's worked. Now, if you have reservations, totally fair. We'll talk more about those here in a second. But I just want to make sure we caution the offense is going to look different. It's not going to be a Nick Saban-led Alabama team. Now, he's in the building, obviously. He's in that stadium. He's got a nice little office, but he's not running the thing. Defense is going to look different. Spring practice is going to look different. Heck, media access is already looking different. You got folks in the media world surprised by how much they can talk to the staff and talk to Kalen DeBoer. And I, for one, as a college football fan, am all for more access, but it's going to look different. It's going to sound different. Let Kalen DeBoer be Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer and how much he wins or loses is going to craft the narrative around how much he is received in Tuscaloosa, right? Like, we all understand this. I mean, Dabo Swinney, we talked about already on this live show a little bit. Dave Aranda at Baylor is probably a perfect example for this whole discussion. Whatever you do on the football field, people then craft their narrative around you as a head coach. Like the whole Kalen DeBoer doesn't swear. If they start losing, he's not intense enough for the SEC. He's not built how you got to be built to coach SEC football. Hey, it's a new level around here. You got to have a little bit of extra energy around you to be a head coach in the SEC. Same thing with Dave Aranda. When he was winning at Baylor, I was in Waco at that point in time. Dave Aranda is stoic. He's unflappable. He's just playing chess. He's ahead of the game. He doesn't let the moment get too big for him. They start losing. Hey, he needs to show more emotion. He's not fiery enough. Is Dave Aranda soft? Those are the things that start being said by nature of your results. If Kalen DeBoer starts winning those, same thing's going to be said about him. He's high character. He does things his way. He's above all the extra noise. He doesn't swear. He doesn't let his emotions get to him. Personally, just without even having played any games yet under Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, I think him not cursing tells you, all right, he doesn't care. He's got a certain amount of self-control to him. He's going to keep his emotions in check. He has a certain way of doing things. He sticks to that. He doesn't care about whatever the other status quo is in college football. So I, for one, have a ton of respect for that. But you look at what he's going to be in the future, like, I just think it's way too early to have any definitive statement on what he's going to be at Alabama. He's not going to be Nick Saban. I can tell you that much. So when it comes to how you should assess him, my opinion would be give it 2 years to form an opinion, 2 seasons that is, have a valid opinion by year 3. It's a long time. It's a tough job. Coaching college football is really, really hard. Really, really hard. But I would say don't get caught up on the Nick Saban thing because a lot of other coaches that aren't Nick Saban won national championships. They all did it different ways. Now you still have the same commitment to excellence and the same commitment to acquiring talent and the same commitment to development, all those things. You commit to the right things, but how you do it, it's going to change. And it's going to change here for Kalen DeBoer. So going back to what I said, give it 2 years, see how he recruits, see what that sample size is, see how he puts together the roster, see how he reacts to the SEC and just the different beast that is. And then by year 3, you'll kind of know. You'll kind of have a good gauge for things. When you know, you'll know. But this is a new era under Kalen DeBoer in Alabama. This is going to be a new brand. This is going to be a new operation. New is not bad. New is just new. New is different. And different takes some getting used to. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.